the detail that I was hearing with everything. And hearing the thing whiz by me, it was literally like right here on my shoulder.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was thinking like, I am really drawn into this movie. And between the sound and, like you said, the being as close as we are, with mine, I have 4 13-inch subs.
Okay. Right.
And I try to get that tactile feel, which I can get.
Yeah.
But I'm turning the volume up so much that I feel like now that I have the feel,
Right.
it's too loud.
The volume, overall volume.
The overall
yeah.
volume is too loud.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm back and forth with that. Like a scene will come and I'll turn it up, you know, just to get the feel.
Right.
But once that scene is over, I'm turning it down.
Yeah.
I didn't get that feeling with this. We were at a nice, comfortable level.
Right.
But when that bass was hitting,
Yeah.
I got that feel, you know, and that was a major difference between mine and what I'm getting from these 18s. It was being able to get that tactile feel without having to crank it
Crank it up. Yeah.
you know?
We forget that we're in my home theater.
Yeah.
We forget that we're watching a projection image, but our brain says, I'm in the middle of this thing now.
Yep.
And that's the goal.
exactly what it was like, being in the middle of it, you know?
But I love what you said, Chuck. I enjoy what I have right now, but I'm still enjoying my journey. And I think that's so important. We shouldn't get to a point where we're always chasing the next best thing, because then we don't enjoy what we have.
Yep.
Enjoy it while you have it, but there's nothing wrong with having dreams or aspirations of attaining something beyond what you currently have right now, and building that out to even bigger and better system for your setup. Hey, what is going on, guys? Today we're in my theater room. I've got Chuck here. Chuck, you and I have been friends for probably 5 or 6 years, a long time. Chuck doesn't live too far from me, probably about an hour away.
Yep.
Chuck has a cool home theater in his space, but he reached out to me last night because you watched a video. I had a gentleman and his family over here the other day. They heard my system, and you've been saving up for your next upgrade, looking at a couple of different components, and you called me last night. You said, hey, Michael, any chance I could come by and hear your JTR system? I've been looking at the RS1s for my system. You've got the RS2s. I've never heard them, so let me check those out if that's okay. I said, absolutely. I said, come on over today. We'll make a video out of it. So I wanted to get on here. Tell me a little bit about your current setup, what you're considering upgrading to, and then also what do you want to hope, or what do you hope to experience in my theater room? Like what answers to the questions that you have that you hope you get after demoing? We're going to demo some here in just a little bit.
Well, I currently have 4 13-inch subwoofers. I got 2 JL Fathom F13s and 2 SVS 4000s.
Okay.
The sealed ones. And so everyone says you got to go bigger to get that tactile feel. And so I've been on this kick like, should I go bigger and which one should I get? You know, I was considering the stereo integrities, the 24s, but also with my speakers, I have Paradigm Founders.
Okay.
And I was just wanting a little more output with those, getting closer to reference, because I don't think those actually hit reference.
Okay.
So if I'm going to switch on my speakers, and this would be over a process.
Sure.
What line would I go to? And JTR seems to be the consensus for home theater. You know, even music, they're telling me, you know. But so that's what, and I saw your video, like you said, and I thought, you know what? I can actually experience these things and know for sure, is this what I want to do, or, you know, or anything at all. But I think I do want to go in on the subs.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the RS1s.
The ones, right. That's a sealed 18, 2400 watt continuous amplifier.
Yep. And I could still get 4 of them, you know, going around my room like the 4 I have.
Yeah.
And another thing, actually, I was, you know, and watching the video, I currently sit about 12 feet back.
Okay.
And so now, and my speakers are in front of the screen.
Right.
So now I'm thinking, well, if I get the JTRs, I could still put them in front, But I'm wondering, what is it like to be sitting so close to the screen?
Yeah.
Because maybe I can move my screen forward,
Sure.
and put them behind the screen.
Okay.
And even get a better experience, because people tell me when the speakers are behind the screen,
Yeah.
the voices are coming from behind the screen.
Exactly where you're seeing it on the screen.
Right. So that was another thing that I wanted to experience.
Okay.
Was that AT screen.
Sure.
And how that sounds.
Yeah.
So
in context, you're 12 feet, so that would be probably another 3 feet behind us, because I'm 9 foot from my screen. So your screen is how big currently?
150.
Okay, so he's got 150, he's 12 feet. Now we're pushing him up 3 feet closer. Is your 16 by 9 or 2.35?
16 by 9.
Okay, so a little bit different aspect ratio. So that's going to be something that I'm interested to hear your opinion on too. Do you like the scope screen, cinema scope screen, the wider aspect? Do you like the 16 by 9? If you watch a lot of sports, to me, I think 16 by 9 is probably a better,
That is me.
Yeah, so it's hard to go with a scope, because with a 16 by 9, you can get kind of the best of both worlds. For me in this room, I just didn't want a bigger TV. I wanted a different experience than what you get out in your living room. So when you walk in, you see this, massive wall-to-wall screen. It's a different aspect ratio, and so I think there's something unique that you'll experience in your brain that goes, this is wild, and being closer, you're going to get a really immersive experience, but it may be too close for you. But the good thing where you're set up, you might be able to go 10 foot, or 10 and a half foot, or something like that.
And I can, actually.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. So I want to get your opinion after we do some demos. We'll do both. I'll give you some demos on Kaleidescape for movies. We'll do some subtle stuff. We'll do some Atmos stuff. We'll do some big explosion stuff. We'll do some crank it up stuff. We'll do a variety so you can kind of see what they're capable of. I'll also take you through some concert music. We can even put on Apple Music, put some 2-channel on and kind of listen to them, because you want to see how do they sound for music. And then after we get done demoing, of course we can't demo it for you guys because of copyright, but I'd love for you just to share that experience. Like what did you notice? What did you hear? Was there anything lacking? Maybe you were looking for something or hoping for something and it wasn't there. Or maybe you're like, holy cow, I don't know. And it doesn't matter to me. I just want to get you to share that experience, because you guys watching this video, you may be having the same questions. Can I go closer through the screen? Should I put speakers behind? What is that experience like? And you may not have that ability to come over here and demo for yourself. So I just thought, well, let's film it. We're going to be doing it anyway. Let's have some fun as two obsessed home theater guys, and let's just document it for you guys to hopefully enjoy. And maybe there's some nuggets of truth that you can gain from this and maybe even implement into your own home theaters.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, let's jump into it. All right, Chuck, we've spent about 36 minutes going through my Kaleidescape script that I created. And the script basically is composed of different things, from concert, movies, to kind of a combination like Greatest Showman, where it's music, but it's also a movie. We've got some quiet scenes, like A Quiet Place, but we've got a bunch of different Atmos tracks, content, and then we also have some big, bombastic, over-the-top explosions, and one of them is gunshots, and I've even offered in one of my previous videos, if you guys are interested in that Kaleidescape script, just shoot me an email, youthman@obsessedhometheater.com, and I'll send that script over to you. Of course, you got to have the movies in your collection to play that, but even the ones that you do, it'll pull in that order. But I'm welcome to, I'll be glad to send that to you if you're interested. But I would love to get your thoughts on, number one, what was your experience with it? What did you notice? Is there anything in particular that kind of stood out, whether it's movies, music? And then let's just kind of walk through like some of those questions that you asked earlier about, screen, is it too close? And so what was your overall experience?
It was great, actually. I mean, great experience. The detail that I was hearing with everything, even with the the quiet stuff. We was watching A Quiet Place, and there was this little ticking off in the corner. You know, everything else is going on. You hear the creature walking around and everything, but that ticking was so persistent, but faint at the same time. It just stood out. You know, like, wow, that is neat that I'm hearing so much detail that I can focus on this or that, or, you know, and it really envelops you, you know, like gets you, I can't even find the right word, but it's so enveloping that I found it amazing,
Yeah.
you know. And even the singing we were watching, I think it's Greatest Showman.
Yep. The Greatest Showman, we did A Star is Born, Lady Gaga.
Yeah, the Greatest Showman, the way it builds, you know, it almost creates a small anxiety in you,
Like
you know.
tension maybe inside of it?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
tension because you feel it building. And the funny thing is, it's from the sound. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, the movie, they can make things build,
Sure.
but it's the sound that
Yeah, these are orchestral instruments. These
Yeah.
are big tom drums and
Yep.
bass violins or bass cellos and things like that that are creating some of those lower frequencies.
Yep. So I just thought it was amazing. You know, I mean, everything was amazing. The Book of Eli's, you know, just hearing the shots just, go all around,
Yeah.
and something I mentioned to you, it made me reconsider my Atmos placements, because I was thinking, you know, some of these movies, you know, I've seen quite a few of these,
Right.
and hearing the thing whiz by me, you know, it was literally like right here on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Whereas with mine, I have my Atmos speakers further out,
Okay.
closer to the corners.
Okay.
And I'm thinking they're too far now,
Okay.
you know, because they're not on me like that, you know.
Now, it could be that, but it also could be the speaker. So for my setup here, we've got the JTR 110 HT SL. The SL is just slant. It's the angle on the front. These are 10-inch coaxial drivers, so they've got a really high-end compression tweeter, but it also has a mid-range in that. That's that coaxial.
Right.
When I upgraded to these over my previous clips in ceiling, it was a massive, massive difference. So it could be placement, but it also
Yeah.
could be just the caliber of speaker as well.
And I was thinking that as well, thinking these speakers are amazing, and I do give a lot of credence to that, saying, you know, I think it is the speakers, to be honest with you. But at the same
But it
time,
could
I
be a
was
combination
thinking,
of both,
yeah,
right,
at the
yeah,
same time, I was thinking maybe I could get a little more out of mine just
Yeah,
by
yeah.
moving them a little closer.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to have the same output. Like you said, these
Correct.
are 10-inch, you know.
Very efficient. I think I don't even remember, it's like 101 dB sensitive with 1 watt.
Yeah.
And we're feeding those about, what do we figure, probably 200 watts per speaker. Feeding the front LCR about 300 watts per channel from the Monolith 11X.
And I also like the idea that, because that was another thing I wanted to experience, was having the speakers behind the screen.
Correct. So this was just your first time hearing an acoustically transparent screen,
Yep.
identical LCR behind the speaker or behind the screen.
And I think that brought me more into the movie, because you're watching it and the sound is literally coming from their voices, you know, from their mouth.
Right.
And so I think that was pretty interesting as well. The funny thing is, I'm going to go home now and watch a lot of these.
And you should.
You
And
know.
that gives you perspective. Of course, your room's different than mine, different acoustic, different speakers, different processors and everything.
Yep.
But by watching that, you can go home and you go, either, oh, this is still awesome, and it is,
Yeah.
but you may go, but I remember I didn't get that, and that's what I
Right.
liked. But that just helps you to figure out, all right, where do you want to go next in your journey?
Yeah.
Maybe it's an acoustically transparent screen and moving that forward. So I'm curious. I always ask people, guess this. So I'm at 9 feet, 150-inch diagonal, 2.35 to 1 aspect ratio, CinemaScope. Do you feel that that was too close? Would you rather be a little bit further back? Was it just great, immersive? How did you feel on
I
it?
thought it was great, actually. It was very immersive, you know. And that was the thing that in my mind, I was thinking, like, I am really drawn into this movie. And between the sound and, like you said, the being as close as we are,
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I had to turn my head left and right,
Yeah.
you know. I do have a 16 by 9.
Correct.
So it is, I don't know how much taller. That's something I'm going to look
Yeah, it'd be quite a bit taller.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think I'm going to have to just move my chairs a lot closer. Well, if I move my screen out
Correct.
2
That
feet,
would do that automatically.
right. So I'll move my chair closer just to see. But I also have enough room behind me that I can move my screen forward,
Okay.
but yet move my seats back
If you needed
if I
to, sure.
needed to.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, I don't want to because I like my space in the
Yeah,
back,
right.
and I don't have a second row of seats, which my wife wants a second row of seats.
Yeah.
I've been fighting her on that just by not doing it.
Right. Yeah.
But so it's going to be interesting. I'm going to move my seats forward and see, because at that point, you know, 9 feet, I'm thinking
Yeah.
I would only have to bring my screen out
Yeah.
2 feet, I believe.
Okay.
And so that's still putting me at 10 feet, which I still have the same amount of room in the back
Right. Okay.
to have that option
Right.
of adding seats or not.
Sure. And you at least know if you needed to move it up another foot, you wouldn't feel like you're too close, because that's what we have here.
Yeah.
Again, your screen, if you choose, that's a good conversation. So you have a 16 by 9 screen. This is 2.35. For those that maybe have not experienced a CinemaScope screen, like what was that like in comparison to what you've got at your house with the 16 by 9?
I guess with movies, I have masking. So I am getting a CinemaScope
Right.
viewing,
Sure.
you know. But I watch a lot of football and basketball, so I do enjoy
Yeah.
that 16 by 9.
Correct.
Just because of the sports.
Yeah, if I were to watch sports on here, I'd still have a big screen, but it'd probably be around 120 to 130 inch
Yeah.
versus my 150 inch.
Yeah.
So if you watch a lot of sports, I've always been an advocate that that's probably a better fit. For me, I'm probably 90%, most of my content is in scope.
Yeah.
Occasionally I game in here, casual gamer, playing like Black Ops 6 that just came out, or God of War. But that's still a massive screen for me to enjoy, and I'm not a competitive gamer, so I'm not worried about the little bit of lag, that you get from a projection. But that may be probably the best fit for somebody that really enjoys sports as well as movies. Gives you the best of both worlds, especially if you've got masking. That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, a question I would have for you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at 4 RS1s.
Okay.
And you have double.
Right. So I have RS2s. So those
RS2s.
are basically like 2 RS1s in one cabinet.
You think that I would still get the same impact by splitting those 2 up and putting them in the back?
Yeah. So here's the thing. These have, and the RS1s, they have so much headroom. I've got these at about, I think, a third volume on the gain. In my processor, the Anthem AVM 70, I'm at about -8 on the trim level.
Okay.
So I've got tons of headroom. These things can handle way more than this room can handle. If we got it any louder, I would question the integrity of my walls and my
Okay.
drywall. So you got a lot of headroom. The benefit that you'll get that I don't have the space to put a subwoofer back there because of the door. Over here, I don't really have a lot of space to the left of that rear row of seats. So that was really the only choice, is to
Right.
put mine behind the screen. By you putting those in 4 corners, you're going to get better seat-to-seat response when you dial it in with like your mini DSP.
Yeah.
This person's going to get a good response. This person, that person, those persons. Versus, honestly, if I measured this to that, to that, to that, to that, it's not going to be as consistent as what you can get with 4 subwoofers in the corners of your room.
Okay. Another thing I noticed, and I mentioned this to you while we were watching, was with mine, I have 4 13-inch subs.
Okay, right.
And I try to get that tactile feel, which I can get.
Yeah.
But I'm turning the volume up so much that I feel like now that I have the feel,
Right.
it's too loud.
The overall
The
volume.
overall
yeah.
volume is too loud.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm back and forth with that. Like a scene will come and I'll turn it up, you know, just to get the feel.
Right.
But once that scene is over, I'm turning it down.
Yeah.
I didn't get that feeling with this. We were at a nice, comfortable level.
Right.
But when that bass was hitting,
Yeah.
I got that feel, you know, and that was a major difference between mine and what I'm getting from these 18s. Was being able to get that tactile feel without having to crank it
Crank
up.
it up. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I know with, you know, when I was running like my clip system, kind of the same thing with, it would be so loud. Like, I don't like reference. I'm typically 5 to 10 dB below reference volume. Some of you guys like to watch at reference. That's your prerogative. It's a little too loud for me. But the problem is I still want that impact.
Right.
And in Florida, we don't have basements. I don't have a second floor. This is just a ground floor level. So underneath this carpet is concrete. It's cement. That doesn't offer any reinforcement from those subwoofers. So the tactile response that you're feeling in your legs and your chest and your body and your hair, well, we don't have much hair, but you know, we feel that, and these chairs vibrate, but it's straight from the RS2s. It's not getting reinforced by my flooring like a wood flooring would. And so people always ask me, Michael, do you have tactile transducers in the seats? I'm like, no. Like, all I have is just the 4 subwoofers. That's it.
Yeah.
Even the 612s that are in my LCR, left, center, right, that's the JTR 212 HTR speakers. They only measure down to about, I think, 36 hertz. So they're not producing any of that low frequency, 20 hertz and below. My Captivator RS2 subwoofers, they've measured flat down to about 5 hertz in my room. So there are times that we are experiencing stuff that's happening on screen that we can't hear because our ears hear to about down to around 20 hertz. Everybody hears a little differently. But people say, Michael, there's not a lot of content below 20 hertz.
Yeah.
I don't buy that at all. I
Yep.
promise you, I've been in homes that that can't handle down below 20 hertz, and there's a lot of stuff that's missing in movies.
Yeah.
There's certain frequencies that's like you feel it. You don't hear it, but you feel it. You're like, oh, dang.
Yeah. There was a quick clip in Dune where he drops to his knees.
Yes. It goes,
And it's very subtle. But when his knees hit the sand, you get that, like, you feel it, you know, like you said, you don't necessarily hear it as much, but you can sense it. You're like, oh, wow, he just fell to his knees, and you catch that, you know.
But I think that's where it's kind of cool because the sound engineers, they're utilizing those little things to help draw you into that movie emotionally. Like you're feeling like this weight of overwhelmment overwhelmment. I don't even think that's a word, but you know, they're overwhelmed or the sadness or the despair, and the orchestra and all of those extra LFE effects can really add that tension you were talking about earlier to where we forget that we're in my home theater.
Yeah.
We forget that we're watching a projection image, but our brain says, I'm in the middle of this thing now.
Yep.
And that's the goal.
exactly what it was like, being in the middle of it, you know.
That's
And,
my goal, at least with my home theater. I don't want stuff to distract me. I don't want to be hearing where the subwoofers are. I just want to feel it. If it's an explosion, I want to be able to feel like, all right, I was 20 foot from that explosion. What would that be like in real life?
Yeah.
You know, you're going to feel that concussiveness from that, and that pressure that explosion is going to create, or the gunshot. We're going to hear it ricochet off of the different buildings in that town seen in Book of Eli. And so I want all of that dialed in such a way that it draws me into the movie but doesn't take me out of the movie.
Yeah. I tell you, I'm very impressed with the RTJs Did I say that?
Close. JTR.
JTR. See,
Yeah.
I always
That's
get
right.
it right.
Yeah, JTR is the consumer line.
Yeah.
And then I say consumer line, it's basically direct. And then the RTJ would be like the dealers
Yeah.
series. It's a little bit
And
different setup.
I am very impressed with them, though.
Yeah, me
And,
too. There's a
so-
reason why over the past, we've been here, I think about 17 years in this home. And I started out with like nothing, couple speakers and one center channel. And then I added this, added that, and just slowly over time, over the past 17 years, it's evolved. And it, like what you're doing in your theater room, I have some, maybe I experienced something in a home and I'm like, man, I want to have that in my house. And then you slowly save up and you research and you demo and you figure out what you want for yours. And that's what I've done with my home theater. And I brought you guys along my personal journey of building out my home theater. Hopefully, I'm bringing you along other people's journey, like Chuck, doing home theater tours. But I want to provide just as much experience for you to help you figure out what you want, what you need for your own setup. And then, of course, with Obsessed Home Theater, we're chasing the best products. It may not be the most expensive product, but just really, really great products. What's a great remote? I'm on a mission right now to find a daggum remote for us because we need something to replace Harmony that you and I can program and set that up and make it easy. And I haven't found that yet.
Yeah.
I've got another one in for testing and checking that out. But once we find those great brands, that's what we're going to say, look, I can get behind this all the way. And I'm going to reach out to those manufacturers and say, hey, look, I'd love to be able to become a dealer for your product because I believe in it that much. I don't want to carry everything. I don't want to be an audio device. I don't want to be a Crutchfield and have every receiver and every projector. We're going to just select some curated products because one of the number one questions I get is, Michael, should I buy this or should I buy that?
Yeah.
You even asked me that. Michael, you think I ought to buy the monitors from JTR or should I buy the towers? Or should I do the one that doesn't have the reference coaxial driver? Or And those are the types of questions that most people don't have the chance to experience all of those things. So like with Jeff speakers, we're going to order like one of everything
And
or
the
a
funny
pair of
thing
everything and
about
compare
that
them.
was I didn't realize the difference until you told me.
Yeah.
Well, this one has a coaxial,
Right.
and the other one that I was looking at didn't.
Sure.
I looked at the price and said, okay,
this is cheaper.
one is cheaper.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I would like to even get that speaker in, compare it to one with a compression coaxial, and kind of then just give some honest advice. Like, look, if you've got the money, here's why I would spend the extra. Or we may determine, you know what, honestly, save your money. Go with this. It's still a crazy, great value. And those are the ones, the model that we're going to buy stock and ship out directly from our warehouse.
But I'm glad you told me the difference because I didn't catch it and read in the literature that one word.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I didn't catch it.
One's a two-way, so it's got a tweeter, basically a tweeter and then two woofers. And then the other one has a three-way, so you have a coaxial driver, so you've got a tweeter and a mid-range coming from the one speaker, just like my surrounds. Those are coaxial, 10-inch driver, but there's a tweeter inside that. And so you're getting mid-range and the high, but then you've also got the low frequencies as well, so that's three-way crossover in that.
But yet they look the same.
Yeah,
You know,
look very
at
similar.
first glance.
Yeah, you're just looking at, all right, two woofers and a horn.
Yep.
Well, what's behind that horn is what makes the difference. Yeah.
And that's what I didn't catch, you know, like you said, that extra word. I should have picked it up with the word two-way and three-way, but
Yeah, but that's okay. But that's the thing. But I think even me, I'm learning, you know, as I go. And I've always tried to share with you guys watching, I do my best not to come across as the source, you know, or the expert, you know. I know a lot, I've experienced a lot, but I'm not the ultimate authority. I'm just a guy that's obsessed with this and passionate about home theater. And I'm chasing it and I'm building and I'm learning and I'm growing. And as I learn and grow, I want to share that with you guys.
Yeah. And just like me, I'm chasing it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying what I have.
Yes, I love that.
And so I love what I have. and while you're watching and listening to other people, and you hear certain things and you're like, I wonder, but to come experience
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it just takes some of that wonder out of it, out of the thought process, and go, okay, yeah, I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed this experience very much.
I appreciate that. I love doing this. Like this is the fun part for me. I love building, and I love getting my home theater to a point where I'm just really, really just ecstatic over it. But now I love inviting people over, like friends of mine, and saying, hey, I want you to experience this too. And so it was awesome. You just called me last night, like, hey, any chance I can come over? I'm like, what are you doing tomorrow morning?
Yep.
Let's just carve it out. Let's make a video. Let's have some fun. It's two dudes just hanging out, and share that with you guys on the other side of the camera.
And yeah, I'm telling him myself I'm supposed to be doing some work for my son.
Ooh. Hopefully he doesn't watch the video.
Yeah, he's not like me, but
Yeah.
After I leave here, I'll run over there and try to do a little something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was here.
Well, I've been telling you for a while, I'd love to come film your setup, and whether we do it, after you upgrade your subwoofers or even before, whatever, I definitely would love to kind of just help document your journey and some thoughts when you build that out. But I'll share some photos probably at the beginning of this video when you talked about your setup and of what that looks like currently, and then in the future maybe I'll come to your house and we'll make some videos there and share that journey. But one thing I'm excited about is like I said, I've been on this journey for a long time personally, my personal home theater journey. And for me, I've landed on JTR as like my end game for home theater. Probably not for most people's living room setup, because they have this more industrial type look. They're not beautiful. They're not, I like them. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah.
But for a dedicated theater room, these are, oh my gosh, I'm not looking for anything else.
And they disappear.
Yeah.
Like you said, for a dedicated theater room, these speakers actually disappear in the room.
Yeah.
You have them, like you said, your room is not huge.
Nope.
But at the same time, I don't feel like the speakers are out of place or,
They're not overwhelming.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
And that's what I was concerned about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But seeing it, I'm like, oh, okay, this will work actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Well,
I'm excited. And like you said, I mean, you've been saving up to upgrade your subwoofers, but you can't upgrade the whole system.
Right.
So over time, you may add the front soundstage, the LCRs, and later on add some side surrounds and back surrounds, and later on do the Atmos. And you just build it over time. But I love what you said, Chuck. I enjoy what I have right now, but I'm still enjoying my journey. And I think that's so important. We shouldn't get to a point where we're always chasing the next best thing, because then we don't enjoy what we have.
Yeah.
Enjoy it while you have it, but there's nothing wrong with having dreams or aspirations of attaining something beyond what you currently have right now, and building that out to even bigger and better system for your setup. But I'm thrilled to know you as a friend and have gotten to know you over the past 5 or 6 years, and I'm excited about your journey. I'm glad you got to, I got to share my home theater with you, and you to share that experience with my audience. And with Obsessed Home Theater, like I said, I've shared this with you, is that my desire is to allow you, the audience, to purchase those from us. We're wanting to purchase a bunch of JTR. Now, of course, they're expensive, so we're going to have to start off with kind of some small quantities, and as we sell more and more, we'll have more revenue to buy. But I would love to get to the point to where you place an order with us, and we'll ship it out to you the next day because we got them in stock, kind of thing. So that would be ideal, but it's going to take us a while to get there. But if you guys are interested in any of the JTR products, hit us up. We're authorized dealers for JTR. You can visit us on the website, obsessedhometheater.com. We don't have the JTR systems and lineups there. We're still even figuring out what products from JTR we want to carry, because again, we don't want to carry everything Jeff sells, but we do want to get like all the towers in, and let's compare them, and let's figure out which one do we want to, like, this is just the one that we can recommend.
Right.
Not that the others are bad. Some of them may even be better, but it's like, okay, you're going to spend an extra blank amount of money. We just recommend, just go with this one. help to take some of those decisions out
Yeah.
and make it easier for you guys. So
That would be a big help, I think.
yeah. Well, cool, man. Well,
Yeah,
you're
I
welcome to come back
enjoyed it.
anytime, Chuck. I'm excited to follow your journey, and of course, we'll be documenting that. Hopefully, along the way, I'll be over at your house, and we'll
Yeah, you can come on out.
make some fun videos on that. Well,
Yeah.
guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this type of style, I'm just trying to change it up a little bit, mix it up, share other people's experiences, less formal, less polished. Don't worry about the B-roll. Just tell the story.
Yeah.
Get to the heartbeat of what we're so much passionate about and obsessed about in this home theater space. So I hope you guys have an incredible week. God bless. We'll catch you in the next video.
See you later.
Well, Chuck had to leave, but before he left me with a deposit for 4 RS1s subwoofers from JTR. He's super pumped. I'm excited for him. Chuck, I can't wait to see these set up in your system. We'll come over and make some content there, share your journey, get your experience in your own home with the RS1s. Guys, if you need any equipment from JTR, subwoofers, speakers, we're authorized dealers for JTR, so feel free to reach out to us directly on the website. You can purchase directly through there at obsessedhometheater.com, or you can reach out to me directly if you got any questions at youthman@obsessedhometheater.com. Take care, guys. I'm excited for you, Chuck. God bless.